morning, everybody. Today I'll be presenting my code on rock, paper, scissors with Python. So let's see how the game works. I have used print statements, while loops, nested if-else statements, and the input function to create this game. In this game, the user plays against the computer. Then the user plays either rock, paper, or scissors. The user can keep playing until he or she says end, and the final scores are then added and the winner is declared. So what are conditional statements? Conditional statements are used to check if a certain statement or condition is true or false. While loops are used when you want to repeat a section of code again and again until a certain condition is met. In this code, we will be using to repeat the code inside the loop until the user says end. This way, he'll be able to play the game again and again. And when he says end, it will end the game and calculate the final scores. So now let's see how the game runs. Okay, so this is my code. I first imported random so that the computer can choose its own choice randomly out of the list rock, which contains rock, paper, and scissors. The player name is added using the input statement, and the player score and the computer score is set to 0. So this is the while loop, and the code inside this loop will keep repeating until the user says end. The player adds his first move using the input function, and if the player is equal to the computer, which means that if the player and the computer play the same move, it will print that you have tied with the computer. If the player plays paper and computer plays scissors, then it prints you have lost and computer score increments by 1. If this statement is not true, then it prints you have won and you have defeated the computer. Player score increments by 1. Now I've done the exact same thing with all the possible moves that the player and the computer can play. For example, the player can play rock and the computer can play paper, and so on. Now this game continues until the player says end. It prints game over, final scores, computer score, and the player score. When the player says end, it breaks out of the loop, which means that this code will not repeat anymore as the player does not want to play. Then it checks who has entirely won the game. If the player score is less than the computer score, it prints you have lost the entire game. And if the player score is more than the computer score, it prints that you have won the game. If both of these statements are false, then it prints that it's a tie. So let's run this. It says enter a name. I'm going to add my name in. Then it says choose one, rock, paper, or scissors. For this instance, I want to play paper. So now I have lost the player, or the computer has played scissors and the computer defeats me. Now, does anybody from the audience want to play once?
Okay, I choose rock.
Okay, rock. So I played rock. You have won and you defeat the computer. Anybody else?
Scissors.
Scissors or paper? I'll just pick scissors. So you have won again. I want to end the game right now, so I'll just write end. It says game over. Final scores are the computer scores 1. I have scored 2. So I have won the game. This is how the rock, paper, scissors game works.